Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Good morning and a very warm welcome to everyone. I am Manu Kashyap from Advaita Academy. Let us start with a small prayer. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Sarvatma Sarvadrugyosau Sarvadhyasa Nirasakrit Satatam Sannidhattam Me Hridaye Paramashivaha. I welcome you all to the second day of Global Festival of Oneness. In this morning session, we have a very special guest, Swamini Sadvidyananda Saraswati ji. We welcome you, Swamini ji. Thank you so much for joining us today. Swamini ji will be speaking on understanding Dharma in the light of Advaita Vedanta. For the benefit of our viewers, I would like to introduce Swamini ji. Swamini Sadvidyananda Saraswati is a disciple of Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji, a great exponent of Vedanta and Hindu scriptures. She has been teaching Bhagavad Gita Upanishads in Gujarati in different towns of Gujarat like Navrasi, Bardoli, Valsad, Bhavnagar for the last 25 years. Under the banner of her trust, Arsha Vidya Tirtha, Navrasi, she has translated and published more than 37 books of her revered Guru Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji to Gujarati. From the year 1998 to 2003, she also translated voluminous book of 2000 book of Bhagavad Gita, that is Gita Home Study, into Gujarati for the benefit of those who can understand it better in their own mother tongue. She has also attended and presented papers in various conferences such as National Education Conference in Pune, Gwalior, Sri Vidya International Conference, Mysore, Namami Shankara in Kanyakumari, Vedanta conferences, Rishikesh, etc. So, Aminji, it's a great pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Namaste.
Yeah. Viewers, if you have any question, please post them in the Q&A box. Swamiji will be taking up towards the end of the session. Swamiji, please start your session now.
Om Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Om Shanno Mitra Shamvarunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanna Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Namaste to everyone. I'm very happy that I'm part of this festival. Let us first analyze the word dharma. From the different angle, we can see the word dharma Dharati iti dharma. According to our Vedanta Shastra, there are 4 purushartha: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So dharma is a purushartha. Most of the people take dharma as a sadhana to earn the punya. Understand this. But dharma is not a sadhana. Dharma is a purushartha. Purushartha means purushena artyate prarthyate iti purushartha. That means by your own will, you have to seek this dharma. As there is a seeker for moksha, there is a seeker for artha, there is a seeker for kama. Same way, one has to be the seeker for dharma. But just Swamiji, my Guru, the Swami Dayananda Maharaj, used to tell that all carnivorous animals, they have only one job in their life: find food and live life. To live their life, only they have to find the food. All the vegetarian animals like deer, rabbit, they have 2 jobs. One is to find the food and protect themselves from the carnivorous animals. But when it comes to human being, they have 3 jobs. They have to find their own shelter, they have to find their own food. They have to protect themselves from others. They have to protect themselves from themselves. Understand? Human being needs to protect oneself from oneself. And how to protect? In 6th chapter of Gita, Bhagavan says, Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avsade. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratman. You are your enemy, you are your friends. Why? Bandhuratman atmanas. Yena atmana jita. You see this. If you can protect yourself from yourself by winning the mind, Ripuratmana, you are your enemy. Understand? There is no outside enemy. There is no outside friend. You are your friend. You are your enemy. And therefore, the 3rd job of human being is to protect oneself from oneself. And to protect oneself from oneself is dharma. So that is a purushartha. And dharma purushartha, one needs to follow. One needs to have, that's why Bhagavan also said, Nishchayatmika buddhi, eka iha kurunantara. And therefore, dharma is a purushartha. First thing we have to do. And by our own will, we have to follow dharma. We have to choose. Swamiji used to tell, we have to choose to follow dharma. That is a purushartha. Now, what is dharma? When we say dharma, then there is a papa and punya. That's a phalam. For animals, there is no dharma. They live their life. For devata, there is no dharma. Understand? For human being, all kinds of dharmas are there. Samanya dharma also is there. Satya, ahimsa, yes, samanya dharma. These are all samanya dharma. Then there is Vishesha dharma. Varna dharma, ashrama dharma, kula dharma, yuddha dharma, niti dharma. You see this. For animals, there is no Raj Dharma. There is no Varna Dharma. So these two types of dharma, Samanya Dharma and Vishesha Dharma. But what is dharma? We look into that. We have to see the sentence of Bhagavan. Karmani eva tava adhikar. Ma phaleshu kada. I'm addressing the Shrota, those who are exposed to this Vedanta. But if you go to very common area of this, like Bhagavata, Ramayana, Sant Mahatma, what we call. Most of the places, if you see the translation of this sentence, in Hindi they say this, karma karo, phal ki asha mat rakho. You perform actions. Don't worry about the result of that. A lot of English books also are translating. That is where they are missing this Dharma Purushartha. Because if you see the word by word this sentence, karmani, with reference to karma, it's a Vishaya Saptami. Eva, only. Tava, your. Adhikaraha, choice. You have a choice over action. You have a choice over only action, not with reference to the result of the action. So, this is a sentence. And when you say karma karo, perform action, in grammar, if you see the sentence, there are different types of the sentence. Some sentences which are giving order to you or advising you. Karma karo, may you perform action. There are certain sentences which are describing the reality. This is orange color. This is mobile. So it describes the reality. What is in front? So the sentences which are revealing the reality, they are not ordering you anything. They are not advising you. Understand? That's not a logical. There is no logic. Only the sentence. But the sentence which are revealing the reality, there is a message also. When Bhagavan says, you have a choice over action only. That's not an order. It's a reality. Bhagavan is revealing a reality in front of you, that you have a choice over action. That means what? You have a freedom over choosing the action. When I teach all these things to my students, they also question, Swamiji, you are telling we have a choice over action? We don't find any choice. Morning, we have to get up, we have to do puja, we have to go to kitchen, we have to go to bank. What is the choice? Understand? But when I have to make a choice, in another, what is called vikalpa. Choice means there is a vikalpa, option. So now we have a choice over action, means I have option. Kartum shakya, akartum shakya, anyatha vare kartum shakya. So we have option. But this adhikara, that's why Shankaracharya, whenever Bhagavan used the manavaha, manushyaha, Shankaracharya says karma adhikaraha. Understand? We are karma adhikar. Devatas are no karma adhikar. They only are, they are only going through the karma phala. Manushya is the only karma adhikar. Now this karma adhikara, that means by birth we have a choice over action. But when I have a choice, when I have options, then I have to select. That's why Bhagavan said, Vyavasayatmika buddhi nishchaya. We have to decide the decision. We have to take a decision. Pujya Swamiji used to tell, human life is series of decisions. But when the choice is given, that means it depends on me what I want to do. But if I have to choose something, I need to have a certain minimum knowledge to choose. What somebody asked me at this moment, if I go to Bangalore and somebody asks me, Swaminiji, which jewelry shop should I buy gold? I can't answer this question because I don't have the minimum knowledge to decide. Because I don't know how many jewelry shops are there. I don't know which kind of the jewelry showrooms are there. The owners are, who are the owners? What is their business? I don't know. That means what? I cannot make choice. The choosing is required. But the choice needs minimum knowledge. And therefore, if by birth human beings have this karma adhikara, the minimum knowledge also is required by birth. Swamiji used to give the example of the baby monkey. The baby monkey has to cling to his mother. Like we carry baby, mother monkey doesn't carry baby. She jumps from one branch to another branch. But baby monkey has to make sure that she holds mother properly. It has to hold mother properly. The mother doesn't care. So Swamiji said, if this is the beginning of the life of monkey, no school or no tuition is there to teach how to hold mom. Why should I hold mom? No. So by birth, there is a 3 knowledges, understand, for every baby monkey. How to hold mother, that's the first. Second, if I don't hold my mother, I fall down. That means it has a knowledge of force of gravity. Gurutvakarshana. Knows I fall down. Third, if I fall down, it's not good for my body and for my species. So this 3 minimum knowledge is required for baby monkey to hold mom. Same way, if human being is a karma adhikara, human being has to choose the action, there is a minimum knowledge. And that minimum knowledge is called right and wrong. When there is an action, when I have to choose, then I need to know what is right and what is wrong. That's why for human being, there is a right action and there is a wrong action. And that knowledge already is there. We all know. Those who have children, they all know this. When these children start going to school, when they come back, there is a particular behavior is there. Every child has a particular behavior when they come back from home. They come back from the school. The day the child is very quiet, puts shoes properly, no tram-tam, then mother knows there is something wrong. Do you understand now? Child knows this is right, this is wrong. Even small baby, they understand right and wrong. They have karma adhikara. That's why you say, this is our common experience of all sannyasi. When we go to somebody's home, the children are there. They will like, chant Vikratunda. Look at this. This choice. I don't want to chant. Choice of not chanting. You see, every child. It starts with no only. Get up, no. Take milk, no. Let's go for bath, no. Look at this. By telling no, it is telling you I have a freedom over action. And therefore, when there is a freedom, when there is a choice given to you, then there should be minimum knowledge called right and wrong. Every human being knows what is right and wrong. We don't need to teach anybody what is right and wrong. Everybody knows. That's why in Mahabharata I say, Shruta dharma sarvasya. Shrutvacha avadharaye. Atmanaha pratikulam pareshamna samad. Look at this. That which is non-conducive for you, don't do that with others. It's a reverse one. I don't want anybody to lie. I don't want anybody to cheat me. Then I should not cheat others. I should not lie. If I don't want anybody to steal my something, my clothes, my mobile, my wealth, my money, then I should not steal. It depends on you. Dharma is not outside something. It's you. It's you. It's in your brain. You know what is wrong. Atmanaha pratikulam pareshamna saman. That which is non-conducive to you, don't do that with others. That means it depends on you. And therefore, dharma purushartha, by our own choice we have. And that's why that right and wrong means right is a dharma, wrong is adharma. There is nothing good and bad in this world. There is only right and wrong. I always tell, Bhagwan Shri Ram killed Ravana. Not because he was bad. No, he was wrong. You understand? We have to make difference between this right and wrong and bad and good. There is no bad and good in this world. We have to remove these two words from our dictionary. Then only we can be happy. There is only right and wrong. Ravana was wrong, that's why Bhagwan Shri Ram killed. Duryodhana was wrong, and that's why Bhim killed him. Not because he was hating, not because he was bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So it's not something bad or good. It is a right and wrong. And therefore, dharma means right and wrong in your life. Now, in the light of Advait Vedanta, how we take this dharma? In light of Advait Vedanta, we all know. What is the definition of Ishvara? The definition of Ishvara is abhinna nimitta upadana karana. He is the maker, he is the material. And it is abhinna. Why abhinna? Because in our day-to-day life, when we see the nimitta karana, the maker, upadan karana, the material are separate. Bhinna. Upadan karana is a chetana, having a knowledge and the skill to create. Upadan karanam is jada, inert. This is our understanding. But when it comes to the entire universe, Brahmanda, Sarvasya Karanam, when we say, it is Abhinna Nimitta Upadana. Ishvara is maker and material both. The maker is Ishvara, therefore Ishvara is Sarvagna, Sarvashakti. All knowledge, all power. The material is what? See, only this Vedanta is discussing about Upadan Karanam. Understand? No other places this Upadan Karanam is established. Any other dharma you go and ask. Any other philosophy, Darshan Shastra, you go and ask, what is the material? They don't know. And somebody will think he is a very intelligent person, say, oh, out of nothing he creates, because he is omniscient. Shunya. If out of nothing you create something, it will be nothing. Out of mud, if I create the pot, it is a mud pot. If out of nothing I create, it will be nothing. It won't be something. Therefore, mattah paradaram nanyat. Look at this. Yatova imani, the fifth case, which is upadan. In Vedanta, this fifth case is very important. Because it is upadan, from which everything has come into being. From mud, from clay, the pot is being created. Now, if Ishwar is maker, that is, he is all knowledge, omniscient, omnipotent. That's one thing. But if he is upadana karan, he is the material. Look at this word, even he is not refined. What is he and she? Tell me. Still we say he and she. We are short of the word, that's why we have to use word he for Ishvara. Understand this properly. So Ishvara is one who is the creator. But he is the material also. If he is the material, yatra yatra ghataha tatra tatra mruttika. Wherever there is a pot, there is a clay. Because clay is the upadan karanam, material cause. Same way, if Ishwar is material cause, then the question, where is Ishwar, is no use of it. Because he is the maker, that means whatever here is Ishwar. Because he is the material. Therefore, he is Sarvagna, he is Sarva Shakti, he is Sarva Vyakti. Whatever here is Ishwar. Because he is the material. Now, if he is the material cause, then understand what is dharma. Dharma is not a commandment, understand this. Dharma, as I said previously, dharma is inbuilt in every human being's mind. Plus, if Ishvara is a material cause, dharma is not a commandment of Ishvara, dharma is Ishvara. Swamiji has given very beautiful talks on this. It is not an order. Dharma itself is Ishvara. Because he is a material cause. Therefore, if you see in Purana, when there is a description of Virata Purusha, I always tell all people that Vedanta thinks these Puranas are not required. Purana is very much required to understand this. When there is a description of Virata, like in second chapter of Bhagavad Purana, called Sargaha, the creation. Dharma is a front side, Vaksha Sthala of Ishvara is Dharma. The back of Ishvara is Adharma. Therefore, in the temple, we are not allowed to see the back of Ishvara. You see that there should be wall. Because we should not see the back of Ishvara, it is Adharma. So Dharma, Ishvara is in the form of Dharma. Now tell me, what is he and she in that? There is no he and she. Dharma is Ishvara. And therefore, if Dharma, Ishvara is in the form of Dharma, and if I don't follow Dharma, I'm going against Ishvara. Therefore, we have to follow. Shrutvacha avadharaye. Look at this. It's beautiful. You follow Dharma. That means you follow right and wrong. But if I follow right and wrong, do I have choice? No, it's a choiceless choice. I have to follow right, not wrong. Understand? And therefore, if I follow right, from the standard of this world, I will be the loser. I'm not telling every time, sometimes. Look at the story of Harishchandra, Satyavadi Harishchandra. One of our senior Swamis, he used to tell this, that if you follow Dharma, be ready to lose your shirt. There are a lot of people around you, those who don't care for this right and wrong. So you will be the loser in their eyes. Understand? A lot of people, they come to Swaminiji, if I tell one small lie, I can earn 5 lakhs. Should I go for this? Why? No, Swaminiji, you don't know. This 5 lakhs means what? It can change my life. Okay, change your life. If you don't follow the rule, we think we are the loser. No. There is a sentence by Swami, very beautiful. If the right and wrong is inbuilt in my mind, and if I go for the wrong, what kind of the estimate I will have for myself? Because others are not going to know. That fellow who is going to tell this small lie for 5 lakhs rupees, others are not knowing. Understand? He's asking me, that means he knows this is wrong. Others are not going to know that he is lying. But he himself knows that I am lying. If I'm cheating somebody, that person doesn't know that he is being cheated. But I know that I'm cheating this person. That means whenever I'm crossing this dharma, I'm hurting myself. You understand now? You have to protect yourself from yourself by following dharma. If you don't follow dharma, you are hurting yourself. You are losing yourself. And therefore, if I lose myself, I cannot be happy. Even if I have 5 lakhs rupees, I have 10 lakhs rupees, I won't be happy. Because I know who am I. I am the liar. I am the cheater. That will be my opinion of myself. What will be the self-esteem? What will be the self-respect of the person? No. Because he or she knows what he or she is doing. Others are not doing. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Atmaiva hai atmana bandhu, atmaiva ripurana. If you follow dharma, you are the friend of yourself. You don't follow dharma, you are the enemy of yourself. Look at this. Therefore, Ishvara is dharma. Dharma swarupa Ishvara. In Vedanta, this is very important that we recognize Ishvara not as a Abhinna Nimitta Upadan Karanam, but we have to recognize Ishvara in the form of dharma. If we recognize Ishvara in the form of dharma, then the path of Vedanta, path of oneness is very clear. Nothing can stop. If you want to have oneness, dharma is must. And therefore, dharma purushartha is required. If you think, no, Swaminidhi, don't worry, I don't care. I live my life happily and I study Vedanta. Every enjoyment, there is a hinsa. More enjoyments you have, more hinsa in your life. You cannot avoid. There is no enjoyments without hinsa. Violence is going to be. Therefore, in our Shastra for Grihastha, there is a Pancha Mahayajnas, not only Yajna, Pancha Mahayajna. Bhut Yajna, Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Nru Yajna. Why? Brahma Yajna. Look at this. This is a daily. Daily you study Shastra. Daily you feed some animal. Daily you help some another human being. Daily you do your prayer. Daily you do namaskara to your parents. Understand this? Pitru Yajna doesn't mean after they die we do something. No. When they are in your life, you serve them. That is also Pitru Yajna. Nowadays, this is a real shame for this our Sanatana Dharma, that we have Vruddhashram. What they call in English, I don't know, old age house. Why? Because children are not ready to take care of their parents. This is Pitru Yajna, you have to do it. No choice. I already told you, there's a choiceless choice. You have to follow. Then only Advaita Vedanta is. If you don't follow Dharma Purushartha, there is no Moksha Purushartha. It will be only verbose, that what they call. And therefore, if I want to understand the oneness, I have to understand. I have to understand Ishvara in the form of Dharma. If I don't follow Dharma, I'm going against Ishvara. I'm going against Ishvara. There is no way I can have a knowledge of oneness. Ishvara Anugraha Deva Pumsam Advaitva. Without the grace of Ishvara. Nobody can know oneness. Though we call it moksha purushartha, because we have to make a choice. Purushartha means you make a choice. You choose. You choose moksha purushartha. What is to be done? You do it. You follow dharma. Satya, ahimsa. Satyena labhya esha atma. Look at this. Satya is required. Ahimsa is required. Nityena brahmacharyena tapasa. Tapascharya means what? My definition of tapascharya means live your life with minimum enjoyments. If you can survive with 2 rotis, 2 dosa, don't go for the third one. I'm not joking in this. Tapascharya means minimum enjoyment in your life. But Satya, look at Satya is been restricted by ahimsa. Satyam vada, priyam vada. Satyam api apriyam ma vada. In Gita also, in Vak Tapasya, Bhagavan says, Anudvedakaram vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayata. Satya, anudvedakaram. It should not hurt others. It should not disturb. Priya, hitam. It should some welfare is also. I add one more word, mitam. Mitam means measure. So Satya is restricted by ahimsa. Lot of people, they quote half sentence. Ahimsa paramo dharmaha, adharmaha eva. If ahimsa paramo dharma, then Bhagavad Gita is wrong, understand. To protect dharma, ahimsa is also. Therefore, Bhagavan asked Arjuna to wage a war. Dharmadhi yuddha shreya. And this is dharma yuddha. And therefore, if I want to go for Advaita Vedanta, the first purushartha is required is dharma purushartha. And we have to recognize dharma as Ishvara. Following dharma only gives you peace of mind. Following dharma only gives you the self-respect. Following dharma only makes you the real devotee of Bhagavan. And therefore, dharma is a purushartha. Take dharma as a purushartha, not as a sadhana. All these kathakar, all these people, they talk about dharma as a sadhana. You follow dharma, you gain punya, you go to Swarga Loka, you go to that Loka, you gain money. No. Dharma is not sadhanam, dharma is a purushartha. And when it is a purushartha, it requires you to choose. And following dharma, my grandma, she didn't study, and so she didn't know how to write and wrong. Writing also she didn't know. Reading also she didn't know. But she was handling 15 people family. She was running home. So she used to tell us, if somebody is sleeping, she never allowed us to wake that person up. Because she used to tell, Punyashali ko hi neend aati hai. Look at this thing. If you are following dharma, you are going to have a good sleep. I tell my students, whenever you are disturbed, whenever your mind is not happy, see somewhere you have not followed dharma. If you follow dharma, there is a peace of mind. You can sleep properly. You can be happy. You can enjoy better. But if my mind is disturbed, even I cannot enjoy ice cream, I cannot enjoy mango. The mind is not available to enjoy it. Therefore, even Kama Purushartha also requires Dharma. Therefore, Dharma is the first Purushartha. In the limitation of Dharma, you earn as much money you want to earn, you enjoy as much you want. So, though from the standpoint of lifestyle of human being, Artha Purushartha is the first one. And when I have enough money, I go for enjoyment, Kama. But from the standpoint of the Shastra, Dharma Purushartha is the first. Therefore, it gives us the message that you earn money, you enjoy with the limitation of that. Whatever you want to earn, you earn money. Nobody is telling you. Because it is also Purushartha. You have a choice over it. As much money you want to earn, you earn money. As much enjoyment you want to do, go for it. But it should be limited by that. In Bhagavad, it says that even enjoyment, look at this. Too much enjoyments can take you to adharma. Because then your mind has become wanting mind. And to wanting mind, if by the through dharma, if I don't get, I go for adharma. And therefore, it is very much required that we follow dharma, what is there in our mind called right and wrong. And in the light of Advaita Vedanta, we see the first Purushartha is not a Moksha Purushartha. First Purushartha is a Dharma Purushartha. You follow first Dharma Purushartha. You sit, you protect yourself by following Dharma. You are not protecting the world, you are protecting yourself. Therefore, in 6th chapter, Bhagavan told, look at, in front of Arjuna, Lord Krishna was there. Koti Brahmanda Nayak, Krishna was in front of Arjuna, and still he was telling, you protect yourself from yourself. That means Bhagavan is telling, I am also not capable of protecting you, Arjuna. You have to protect yourself. Understand? You are your enemy, Arjuna. You are your friend, Arjuna, not me. Understand? Bhagavan is giving this message to Arjuna, and through Arjuna, Bhagavan is giving message to us that you protect yourself by following dharma. And if you are able to protect yourself, then Advaita Vedanta is very easy. Knowledge is not very difficult. People think knowledge is difficult. Knowledge is not difficult. Look at this. You are listening to me. What are you doing now? Nothing. What effort you have to do to listen to me? Nothing. Knowledge doesn't require any action. Knowledge doesn't require any effort. But when you go for Advaita, when you go for oneness, you have to follow Dharma. Then only that Advaita is there. Therefore, the Purushartha, the effort is for Dharma, not for the Dharma. Once you are with yourself, Brahma Gnana is the most, what I call, easiest thing is Brahma Vidya, because it's you. But if you don't have self-respect, how are you going to know that I'm a Purna Ananda Swarupa? You are a Parananda Swarupa. How are you going to know when you don't have a respect for yourself? And therefore, Dharma Purushartha is very much required. And I pray to Bhagavan that let us follow Dharma so we can protect ourselves also and we can protect the world also. Thank you very much. I'm very glad that I am given the opportunity to share my knowledge with all of you. Oh.
Thank you, Swamiji, for that wonderful session that you have given us. Thank you for sharing all those wonderful messages from the Dharma. And we have some questions
Yes.
I would like Swamiji to take up. Uh, what is the place of Varnashrama Dharma in Vedantic worldview, and how important it is for pursuing Dharma Purushartha?
As I said in my talk, there is Samanya Dharma and there is a Vishesha Dharma. Samanya Dharma, Satya, Ahimsa, they are all called Samanya Dharma. That means Samanya Dharma means it is universal. Satya is there in America also, which is not different from what in India. So that which is common for every human being is called Samanya Dharma, that is Satya, Ahimsa, all that. But when it comes to the Vishesha Dharma, and when it comes particularly to Varna and Ashrama, correct? That is the question. So Varna, Bhagavan said, Chatur Varnam Maya Shrishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. The Varnashrama is Varna Dharma is based on the quality of your mind, Guna. Understand? Therefore, of course, we have a Jati also called Brahmana. But basically, it is a Guna Brahman, not a Jati Brahmana, Guna Brahman. Means by Guna, because Sattva Pradhana, as Shankaracharya said in his Bhashya, Sattva Pradhana is Brahman. Rajo Pradhana, Rajav Pradhana, but supported by Sattva is called Kshatriya. Rajav Pradhana, supported by Tama Guna, Tamo Guna is called Vaishya. And Tamav Pradhana is a Shudra. So it is a Varna, means according to your, in this modern language, if I talk, it is based on the aptitude. You know, what is the aptitude of your mind? According to your aptitude, you go for the action. And therefore, Varna Dharma is not dividing. There's one more word which we have to remove from our dictionary, it's called caste. Jati, the translation of word Jati is not caste. The definition of word Jati is Akruti Varnat Jati. Look at this. In India, if you see person, you know this is Punjabi, this is Madrasi, this is Nepali, this is Assam. Why? Akruti Varna. Do you understand now? From the shape of the body, you know. Even with children, we teach them this is elephant only by rekhankan. You know, by lines we can say this is parrot, this is pigeon, this is crow, this is elephant, this is dog. So that is called akruti. Through akruti, what you understand is called jati. Not this what we call caste system. This caste word is given by these British people to divide and rule, and therefore we have to remove this caste business. Jati means you follow dharma, you follow your varna dharma by understanding what is your aptitude. If it is a sattva pradhana, go for brahmana lifestyle. If you're rajo pradhana, go for kshatriya lifestyle. Administration. Any family, any factories or any business, there is four things are there. There are administrators are there. There are the scientists are the researchers are there. They're brahmana. Administrators are kshatriya. Accounting people are vaishya. And there are the labor people, they're Shudra. So it's everywhere. Where is not there? Do you understand now? So we have to follow that way. Then what is your error? Is it okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank
Second
you so
question.
much. And we have two related questions. I would give them to you. Isn't right and wrong very subjective? Or do we have a standard against which we judge a particular action to be right and others to be wrong? And there is also another question. There are some situations wherein something is right for one and for wrong for another. Then how does one decide what is wrong and right?
See, we don't have enough time. That's why I didn't discuss this particular point. Dharma is not nirapeksha. Dharma is a sapeksha. So according to the time, according to the place, according to the person, according to varna, according to dharma, we have to decide what is right and wrong. And therefore, maybe for one person it is right, it can be wrong for other person. So it is sapeksha. Dharma, this is a very beautiful topic. We need to understand that dharma is sapeksha. See, if I go to Badrinath, simple one question. So if I go to Badrinath and they say, okay, come 3 o'clock, because 3 o'clock they have this Badrinath. That is the only time when they are doing the puja of Badrinath. You can see the original Shaligram. Otherwise, it is covered with Chandanam, and therefore we don't see the original Shaligram Darshanam. And then a lot of flowers are there. So suppose you sponsor that puja and they ask you to go in the morning 3 a.m., you are not going to take bath. You just take the hot water, dip your towel in that and just put that towel on your body. That's it. You cannot go for the Sandhya Vandanam and all that, because that is a place where we can't take bath. Do you understand now what I'm talking? It is a relative. Dharma itself is relative. That's why we have to decide. That's why we have to make a choice. If it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, there is no choice. But according to the place, according to the person, according to the age, we have to decide. And therefore, maybe it is right for one person, it can be wrong for another person also.
Thank you so much. I think you made a very important point saying that how dharma is very relative and it is very sapeksha.
Yes.
I think we are almost out of time and we will take a final question and conclude the session. Swaminiji, you said the followers of dharma get good sleep, means they are free of worries. But nowadays, the followers of dharma seems to suffer more. Why is this?
I already told you, be ready to lose your shirt. Therefore, dharma purushartha, when it comes to moksha purushartha, it is must. And also nowadays, lot of things are there in the like bribe. I'm telling you, bribe. Certain things you can't do without giving bribe. In business, you have to give bribe. That is other, understand. But that is now, if I go for the driving license, if the driving license form is only 80 rupees, but if I have to give 500 rupees to get the license, so it is wrong. But sometimes we have to follow. So what I say is, for my personal benefit, I don't cross dharma. Do you understand? I'm not telling that bribe is right. Bribe is wrong. But that is how the world is running. And therefore, for my personal benefit, I should not do anything which hurts others. That's why I say, ahimsa is very much required, that I should not hurt others. But at the same time, we have to understand that we are doing wrong. And therefore, I say, there is no enjoyment without himsa. So that Pancha Mahayajna is required in our life to nullify those papa which we are earning during our daytime. So only way is you follow this Pancha Mahayajna. Bhuta Yajna, Deva Yajna, Nru Yajna, Pitru Yajna, and Brahma Yajna. To nullify what we are doing wrong. Okay?
Yeah, thank you so much, Swamiji, for that wonderful session that you gave us. We are very much thankful. And yeah,
with the last prayer.
Yes, please.
Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om Hari Om.
Swamiji, from the entire team of Advaita Academy, we thank you immensely for handling this session. Thank you so much. Viewers, with this we conclude yet another session of Global Festival of Oneness. In the evening, we have a very special talk on the Adhyasa Bhashya of Shankaracharya. Please tune into that. Thank you so much. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha.